Yes, folks, your eyes do not deceive you. This is a Tibbs upload in the year of our Lord 2025. I took a little break just because of I just haven't had time to record. It's been really difficult because I'm back in school and I've been really busy this semester, so haven't had time to really sit down, do edits, do anything fancy like that. So I've just been out of the game for a little bit, but I'm back now. We're here with the SPDL. SPDL Season 2. This is the... we were the PUDL, which I think it was the, not the first draft league. It was my first Wi-Fi draft league, but I didn't upload that to this channel. It was the one I won back in the summer. So I'm probably just going to take these videos. I'm not going to have as much edits and like the fancy intros like I did before, just because I don't have time for that. Once I graduate, I will see. That depends on just how busy I am with my job and all that. But I imagine I will probably have more time to focus on this, get back to editing and making better content. I'll have more time to focus on that, so that'll be cool. I'm not doing a team or a recap or not team recap. I'm not doing a draft analysis, but I can give you like a mini one here at the beginning of this video. Let me go ahead and throw that in. So this isn't the order I drafted them in, because the way that the league doc that they kind of gave for us, which shout out to our owners, Kaz and Shiro, putting this together. I think Shiro's the one who actually made it, so shout out to her. These it's like a special like prep doc for the league, which is pretty cool because it like autofills all the mons in and Terra types and all that. So the only thing is that like it doesn't show them in the order you drafted them. It shows them in the order by like points, like most expensive to least expensive. But as you can see, this is what we got. We had Tusk first round. I was like 15th overall. So main goal going into this, just I wanted to use a lot of new stuff, a lot of new toys that I haven't been able to get to before. And I also wanted to meme a little bit because I had to pick up the Keld. I had to pick up some mascot pick. Keld is not the mascot of the channel, but it is the mascot of the unofficial 24-hour challenge mascot. So I had to pick that. Hisui Gudra is a mon I wanted to use forever, ever since I used it in it was like a team tour, I think back last year, and that thing put in numbers, so I had to pick it up here. It's definitely like one of the strangest teams I've probably ever built, and it's definitely not perfect. Like I'm still really sad I got Scizor sniped, because that was supposed to be the other steal, but we made it work with what we got, and Quillfish will be returning too, so that's pretty cool. I do have a little bit of familiarity with these mons, although I don't think I've used any in a full draft league other than Quillfish. I've used Sinistcha in some team tours, but not like a lot. I'm not super familiar with it. And then I've had messed around with a couple of these in like some speed tours, but I'm very unfamiliar like most of these. Like Yanmega, I've never used this in my life. So this should be pretty cool to use. The power level's also gone up in this league a little bit since last season, because they have unbanned a couple mons like Palafin and I think Urshifu Dark and some other stuff that wasn't allowed before. And some of the mons prices have changed, and then the big one is the Terras. I think it used to be like, I think the cap was like a 9 point, was like the highest point Terra you could be, and now it's like 12. So that's why you see stuff like Terra Yanmega, Tyre Iron Jugulus, Terra Slitherwing, all this crazy stuff running around. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to trying out for sure. So we got a fun team, a lot of cool mons, and our opponent using a lot of mons I'm very familiar with. Obviously Darkrai, DoD, Drifblim, A-Tails, Amoonguss. I was gonna say most of these are like mons I've used in draft and do have experience with facing. So I'm not as worried about it. I feel like I should be better. I guess the only thing I'm really worried about is Drifblim, just because that mon is so unpredictable and so slept on, I think, especially as a Terra captain. And in a low Terra league, I think it's honestly one of the best you can get, even with the increased power level. It's just so good, especially for the price. So But it is also like the only form of hazard removal that my opponent has, while I have the best hazard removal in the game, period. So that's pretty helpful. I just don't know how they're gonna run it. If they're gonna run it like the way I see it when I was prepping is I'm imagining just to be like a baton pass pivot, and you don't want a Terra because you want a spin block, and then you're probably gonna bring like Terra Kilowattrel because that's a lot more threatening to everything except the dragons. Probably gonna see Blaziken, Darkrai, DoD for sure, Swampert, Driftblim, and then like Kilowattrel and maybe fit Ninetales in there somewhere, something like that. I don't really see much merit in anything else coming. Amoonguss gets permawalled by Sap Sipper. P2 doesn't feel super comfortable trying to deal with the two fighting types, I don't think, and it just doesn't wall anything in particular as good as anything else can, other than like Kyurem. So I guess you could bring it for that, but there's also like a DoD, which is just a million times better in this matchup, I think. Duraludon's also pretty mediocre, I think, in this matchup. And the other two are like, whatever. Even Granbull, I mean, Banded Playrough actually does look pretty threatening, but... And that could come back to bite me later, but I do have ways against it. So actually, let me get into what I brought. We got Freebird, Talonflame. This is we're running a pretty weird set. We got heavy duty boots with Gale Wings. It looks like the standard like defensive set, but it's not. It's got some investment in it. It's bold, or not bold. It's impish, so it has a good defensive investment, but it's mostly just really fast and really strong to be able to always pick off that Blaziken no matter how fast it gets, and also provide an emergency answer to Darkrai if we need it, or just any fast threat in general with a priority Brave Bird. We only get priority like when we're full though, so I don't get a lot of opportunities to fire it off, so I have to be very careful with it. But if I can pull it off, it'd be very nice. It's also, if Blaziken doesn't run like Stone Edge, it's very easy. I can just sit on it and beat it that way anyway, so it's pretty useful. Willow has no switch-ins on that team, I don't think. At least, nothing consistent. So, very spammable. U-turn. It's pretty self-explanatory. We got Latuska. We got a leftover set because I'm not super worried about their hazard stacking. Yeah, the only spikes is DoD, and then they'll have rocks on something, either Pert or whatever. I'm pretty confident I'll be able to just sit around with this for a long time, so I think I'll get more value out of leftovers than boots. Although spinning might be kind of hard depending on how they choose to play the Driftblim. So we'll have to see how that goes. I put rocks on this because I didn't want to put it on anything else, and also it fits it really easily because besides spin, these are the only two attacks I think I really need. We just have enough attack to where close combat pretty much does good shit versus everything it needs to. P2, Blaziken, anything else I can really sit in front of. Blaziken can't 2-hit KO me unless it has like a Swords Dance or Brave Bird, and Brave Bird's kind of hard to fit this week. So I can beat it like that, which is pretty nice. And then knockoff is because I want to stack my own hazards. Knock off things like Eviolite, Porygon, Light Clay, Ninetales, Rocky Helmet, Amoonguss, things like that. We're busting out the Choice Specs Kyurem. This is... So I've never used regular Kyurem, but I did use Kyurem Black back in the Oris League, and it was amazing. And just like that, in week 1, I brought Choice Specs Blizzard. We are rocking Choice Specs Ice Beam this week, just modest max special attack, because I really can just click this a dozen times and just kind of win. There's no switch into the Ice Beam at all other than Ninetales, which is decked by Flash Cannon and Rocks. Even DoD and Porygon are taking like 40%, and like after hazards they might even die. Just after some chip I can easily 2-KO those two. Shadow Ball gives me a slightly stronger hit on that, Focus Blast for the Duck, and then Flash Cannon is for Ninetales as mentioned before. But generally 99% of the time we're just here to click Specs Ice Beam and Wall Break. And a lot of our team is pretty like bulky and slow. It's mostly based more about outstalling their own stall. because his walls are really hard to break for my wall breakers this week. So we're rocking T-spikes on this Quillfish to help whittle down stuff like that. I like it better than spikes this week because it's better into the fat guys. And actually the fast guys too, the Blaziken, the Darkrai. I'd rather have something that can eventually whittle them down and prevent their setup rather than just spikes, which the fat guys can heal off and usually won't be enough to kill the fast stuff because I don't have priority outside of Brave Bird. And Gunk Shot I want to break, like, because I'm a little worried about Terra Fairy Drifloon too. That's why Toxic is on there. It helps whittle stuff down like the Duck and all the big fat guys, the DoD, the Duck, the Blimp, and Pert. So Toxic is pretty easy to switch in or to spam. Same with T-Spikes. There isn't a Moongus, but like I said, it's very exploitable in this matchup, partially because this guy can just taunt it and then kind of beat it one-on-one with Gunk Shot, and then also we have this Sapsipper dude. So it can't Spore, it can't do really anything versus this. This can come in and just beat it one-on-one with Acid Spray or just Dragon Tail it out. Dragon Tail as a whole is very spammable because the only fairies are Terra Fairy, Drifloon, and Ninetales, and those get decked by Flash Cannon. Knockoff helps with the utility, knocking off boots and other important items, as we mentioned before. And Acid Spray is to help beat the... If I do want to just sit around versus like a Deoxys or a Porygon and just try to beat it one-on-one, I can with Acid Spray or an Amoonguss. Even Drifloon, I can just kind of click this over and over until Flash Cannon does enough to nuke, or I can just detail him out. So it should be pretty successful. Leftovers on this too, because this will probably be sitting around a lot. It's really hard for my opponent to kill. And then lastly, we got Lil Jon. This is a nice support piece with Citrus. Not more knockoff support, another U-turner to help get my pivot around. Healing Wish is a cool tech because of the Gale Wings Talonflame, so even if I miss my mark with the first Brave Bird, like it floods into something that I don't want it to, or whatever, I get another chance. Encore, I can bring this in on DoD, and like Encore it's Hazard Stack, or it's Recover. Same thing with P2, Ninetales. I don't want Speed Ninetales, but DoD, Amoonguss, stuff like that should be pretty useful. So it's not as like, it's not this kind of bulky team that I'm used to running, mostly because it doesn't have like Regenerator stuff or Aloe or anything. But it's definitely something that's not completely outside my comfort zone, so I'm confident I can make it work. So that's the team, and we'll see y'all in the battle. Alright, we're in game. I also forgot to mention we're Terra Fairy on Mesprit to help against like Darkrai and Blaziken. And there's no Darkrai. Wow, he brought some unexpected stuff. Okay. Let me... Okay, no Darkrai, no Swampert. Huh. Kilowattrel, I was worried that would come. That's probably... I would be tearing that over the Blimp this game, to be honest, but you can make either work, and Duraludon, I don't even know what that's going to do. I guess that's just for rocks. We have a dedicated lead with this, though. Not necessarily. I mean, now that Darkrai's not here, this can be more reckless and help versus, like, Kilowattrel. So, probably just gonna want to get these T-Spikes up as soon as possible. Really threaten the Blaziken. And also this threatens the Ninetales as well. Wow, this is interesting, for sure. I guess Darkrai wasn't necessarily the best into my team, between the fightings and the Hoodra. But no Pert is something. Okay, Blaziken. So we get that Intimidate on this, off the lead, which is really nice. So I think we always just don't want to take Chip on this. It depends on if I really need this for Kilowattrel, which I feel like I'm going to need to. But I can also use this for Kilowattrel. Gotta think, because I don't want to go hard into this now on a knockoff. I feel like the play is just either stay in, and just like Gunk, or Toxic, or go hard Tusk, which is like, I guess I don't really need Tusk's bulk for anything else. But I also could just die to if it's Swords Dances now and then Brave Birds, I'm kind of screwed. So I'm just gonna toss off the Gunk now. Yeah, okay, I made the right play. How much are we looking at? Half. Poison? Nice. Alright. So that was like, yeah, like 60-ish%. A little over 60. So that's just standard offensive, it looks like. At +2. Don't know the item yet. What's actually at +1 because of the Intimidate. This thing can just kill us with a stab move. If it's Life Orb. But that's a big if. I don't know what it's gonna do. I do want to save this for the T-Spike. I'm thinking Tusk or John, because I don't think you're gonna click knockoff. You're probably just gonna go for the stab, right? Which Lil John can eat, and then Citrus up. Tusk takes hits the best, but then Brave Bird's coming out immediately after. Can Lil John take 2? I can't take 2. I'm gonna go Lil John. This might be a choke, but I don't want to lose Tusk this early either, so... Tough situation. You just gotta figure out the item. Temper Flare, not even Flare Blitz. It's at 0. And it's not Life Orb, okay. That is an interesting choice. So it's not... I don't know what the item is. I don't think that's a boosting item. 364 minus... I'm getting the 222. 142, that is like... Oh, that's like Jolly, dude. That's like Jolly no boosting item. That's weak. Is a knockoff gonna kill me, dude? Yes it is. And I don't need to lose this, so I feel like I can just go this, actually. Because there's no Darkrai. And, I mean, it's kind of nice for the Kilowatt roll, but it's not necessarily what it's going to be here for anymore. That's fine. I think this is going to stick around one more turn so I can get my... But see, I'm afraid of Stone Edge now, so I can't stay in. So now I have to go back into... I can go into this and just get my Citrus off. I think I'm not against that, or just try to resist the hit with this. But if Brave Bird comes out, I'd rather this. Tusk can take a Hurricane from some Kilowatt sets anyway, so if this gets 2 chipped, it might be okay. Alright, pop the Citrus, and then this thing is gonna die. Alright, bye-bye, Blaziken. Alrighty. First kill of the season going to our returning member, Zooey and Quillfish. Well, there's this, he did do some... He didn't do, like, an overwhelming amount of damage to my team, but... Like, not enough to be concerned, but it definitely didn't do nothing. But that is a massive threat out of the way. What do I even do about this? Hoodra or Quillfish is probably the best option. I mean, this thing, what setup does this get? Like, Curse? Iron Defense, Body Press, I guess, and then, like, Screens, Rocks, 2-Wave. This is probably the best, just to sit and Taunt and then T-Spike. This can actually... what do I take a Body Press from +2? This is probably what I'm gonna have to go to. I fear. Oh, it doesn't take it well at all, but... Maybe I should have gone Tusk. But... Yeah, I probably should have gone Tusk. I guess Tusk isn't gonna do much if it's +2 Eviolite anyway. Am I right? No, not at all. Alright. So, +2 body press can honestly just kill me if it's max bulk. But it is a roll, and it might not be max defense. Is that worth it just to... Am I worth... Well, how much... Can Freebird live it? Please tell me it can. Well, Freebird swallows it. Let's do that. Let's just get a burn off. Yeah, that's a zilch. Free Willow here. Absolutely no immunities. Alright, we do land it. Very nice. I feel like this isn't max defense based on that roll. I feel like that was a little too low. We're at +4 now. So let's look at some damage calcs. Can Silly Billy take 2? No. Could go Lil Jon and Encore actually. That's exactly what I should do. I guess U-turn. Because why not? Get 1% chip. Actually 1%. Yeah, chip is chip. Chip is chip. You don't see the iron defense again, unfortunately, but that did do absolutely 0. So I'm perfectly content to just stay in and knock off. I don't think I should be tearing right now, just because that just gives me a steel weakness for no reason. And I don't even really need to tear this game anymore. After those two are gone. Get that Eviolite out of here. Thunderbolt. Should live that. I'm gonna Encore him into it. Perfectly fine sacking this off to do that. I don't think I need a Healing Wish, right? Nothing worth Healing Wishing yet. So let's do that. Actually write this down, what it has. How much is Tusk looking at versus this, damage-wise? With no Eviolite, but +4 defense, I'm doing 32 to 39. Actually, I could just go Gudra in detail. Yeah, no reason not to do that. Because T-Bolt's gonna bounce right off. And then this thing will be so much easier to beat later now that there's no Eviolite and it's burnt. What's the switch in? If they go hard 9 cells, I'll just blow it up next turn. If they go anything else, it's getting swapped out anyway. I'm pretty good into anything that comes in, too. What are we gonna get? Ooh. This is a little worrisome. Let's... Oh. Oh, that was me. Okay. Kilowatt. Terra Blast Ground. I think I definitely always live, and I guess it wouldn't hurt just to find out if it's specs or not. A lot of specs does a billion, but it's also your specs at that point. So I do kind of just want to find out. But is it worth detailing or just trying to... Knocking it off isn't bad, Acid Spring isn't bad. Actually, I could just knock off and then never worry about this thing. Okay. So it might not be Terra Blast Ground. Or it just doesn't want to stay in and get blown up by a Draco or something. Also reasonable. It's fine. This thing is slowly getting whittled down. Rocks are still not up for either of us. Is there... I could stay in and try to duel it with this. But I also just really want my rocks up. And I think now's a perfect opportunity to do so. So that's what I'm going to do. Last move on this has to be rocks. Rest. That's fine. Yeah, a close combat's gonna blow this thing away. Let's double check. Yeah, it gets absolutely Shimon. Easy, like 1 to 2 hit KO depending on investment. So let's get the rocks up. That's probably swapping out anyway. Maybe could have knocked first, but I also do just want these up. Mustard! I thought this would be the switching, okay. No reason to stay in. When I have a million switches to this, the question is which one? This is better if it's Terra Fairy. I think this is better if it's... Actually, they're both good into Terra Fairy. This one might be worse just because I don't want to get burnt, and I don't want this to get burnt either. Who do I need the least from now on? What else is even threatening? Like, Ninetales? Kilowattrel, actually. And Kilowattrel, I think I'd rather have Silly Billy be unencumbered. So we can go into this, we can taunt it, and then get T-Spikes up. And we can figure out if it's gonna Terra or not. Yeah, because it might not. Maybe I should have went Talon to eat the Willow first, actually. That probably would have been smart. That probably would have been the correct play. But... ooh, I could just lob off a Toxic now. And taunt it next turn. Do I care if the Duraludon comes in? Not really. I'm gonna get one T-Spike up first, actually. I'm gonna play a little risky. Because that way if Duraludon does come in, then we can still play around the switch-ins, like the Dio. Okay, that's fine. I should have taunted first then. That was a mistake. I'm gonna T-Spike now then. Yeah, I should have taunted first and then T-Spike. That was definitely the right order of operations. So, Baton Pass, Defog, Willow, and then like Strength Sap for an attacking move. It's exactly what I thought it would be. I feel like it was because of the rush to defog. It's definitely Specs on this thing. Is it worth sacking this to find out? No, when I have this. Volt Switch is kind of free though. This is tough to. I don't really need this for anything. This is actually like very use. Wait, don't drift on me. Don't drift on me. Stop. Okay, yeah. I want to scope out the Terra ground. Because I think this is definitely the Terra of this game. There it is, yup. Do we confirm Terra ground? It is Terra flying, actually. Interesting. But this way we still have HP on those guys. Terra flying, Terra blast. This is gonna kill me, isn't it? Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, so you can't do squat to either of these, really. Can I just Ice Beam, actually? Am I scared of you? Terra flying. I don't think so. I think this is a very good Ice Beam opportunity. Detail isn't bad, but there's no... I mean, there's just a T-Spike up. I don't know if I'm going to get a better opportunity. Choice specs, Terra Flying, Kilowattrel, Terra Blast, which is Curum does 55 to 65, so I don't... Curum's HP isn't super important anyway, other than literally for this, so... I want to just get some damage off. Yeah, you also... The opponent also has to respect Scarf Curum too, so... I should do a butt ton of this. You kidding me? This is a 2 KO for sure. Shamoned. Absolutely shamoned. Let's click it again. Yup. Big Curum. 1-0. How much do I do to this, actually? I'm very curious. You get the T-Spike. Probably just gonna click Veil. But I do 20%. Oh no. Hold on. Alright, my capture card is bad, but all that really happened is I just swapped Curum into this, and the Veil got up, which is fine. Can I just click Detail? Aren't I just not afraid of this at all? The switch-in is what, Dio? Or something? There's no switch-in at all. I'm gonna Detail once. Alright, cool. Let me get some little chippies. So, Veil. I gotta keep track of the turns too. You know, it's definitely... It wasn't boots, so it's definitely, what's it called? The thing. Clay. The Detail's very free to click because nothing threatens me. Yeah, with no ground move, you're not threatening at all. Flash Cannon actually is not a bad click either, but Veil is up, so I want to calc it. Since my rocks aren't up and I need chippies. Just to make some progress. Flying. It does like a 27 to 32. I'm not doing much damage to this regardless. I guess I can just knock. I don't mind being paralyzed. It's not great, but I mean, it's better than being frozen, that's for sure. Don't have to worry about that. And it was Scarf. Okay. Interesting. T-Wave. He's probably just gonna U-turn now, so I think Flash is pretty free. Or I can just... No, I'd rather Detail first, because I don't think you're gonna go hard Ninetales. I think they're going Deoxys. Or Driftbloom. Last move's gotta be T-Bolt, so... Yep. This is where having rocks would be really nice, but I didn't play around that well. This thing also shouldn't be a threat. The Tom has to Fog, Willow is. Strength Step is like the worst thing it can do. It's probably just gonna defog, to be honest. I could go back into this and try to get the spikes back up. Actually, Hard Cure him actually is not bad. Because Willow's not coming out. You can bounce off any attack. Are there any hazards up on my side of the field? I don't think so. No, there's not. T-Spikes. Yeah, one, probably gonna be like 4 turns left. And I get the defense boost, which is pretty cool. Although I literally don't think it matters versus any of these mons. Gets burnt defog PP with pressure. Let me just check if the Veils stays up this turn. Yeah, so it's Clay. How much am I doing to Ninetales Alola with an Ice Beam? Not a lot. Flash Cannon's definitely decks it. I guess I'm not scared if this thing stays in, am I? Not super much. How much am I doing to this with a whatever the other move is? Flash Cannon. I don't do squat. I guess this has recovery and Ninetales doesn't, so I should Ice Beam. I think this is probably the better play, even if it's the wrong play. Is that Dio? Alright. This should still do respectable damage. Depends on what spread it is. Oh, what in the world? Why did I do so? Oh, because the screen. That's why. Yeah, okay. A lot of these are fine. I think I just want to taunt and keep... I could go into this, actually. No, actually, if it's a Cosmic Power set, we're going to taunt it first and then go. Then we'll do that. I gotta figure out if it's like Hazard Sack or not first, and then go either Spin Guy or Dragon Tail Guy. Port. Good play. Running out of Veil turns though. There's what, like 1 or 2 left? Yeah, this thing has no items, so I'm very free to stay in. So Veil goes down next turn. I think I just stay in, get the T-Spike back up. Or just Toxic, actually. Because you're going to U-turn, or you're either going to stay in and T-Bolt to do, I don't know, 30%. Gunk Shot's actually pretty good, too. I like that. This covers staying in, covers Ninetales, and covers even Driftbloom. That did 0, dude. What? Oh, the burn. That's why. Okay. I don't mind losing this, but I also have the freest switch in ever, and this also prevents Aurora Veil from coming out, so this is probably an objectively better play. Probably could have done this last turn, saved some HP, but the poison roll would have been nice. Do I Flash Cannon or do I Detail? The debate. I think I just don't want Veil going back up, so We're gonna play with that notion in mind and just flash cannon. It might be a dumb play, but even whatever comes in is still getting shipped. So. That was some solid ship, look at that. And the SPDA drop. I think I can go for it again. If he strength saps, I'm still doing more damage than before. And flash, the only switch in is Dio. I guess you would switch. I can acid. Let me acid spray then. If you stay in and heal, I'm still threatening. And if you go Dio, it's more threatening to Dio. Yeah, perfect. So that ice beam did like exactly 25% when the thing was up. How big are you, my man? Yeah, so that is pretty SPDA, or just a low roll versus max HP. The name is Gudra, the light screen is not up, and you're at -2 SPDA, so flash cannon's doing like 37, like to 44, depending on spread. I'm gonna click that. Who's coming in? I'll just reset some HP on this, I guess. Strength Sap has to come out now, right? I guess I can outplay that by going Cure him. Yeah, because Dio's chipped. Unless you baton pass again. I'm more afraid of you. I'm more afraid of that happening, and then goes into Ninetales and gets the momentum back. So I think I just acid spray again. Oh, that's gonna suck. That hurts. I'm still not dying anyway, so these leftovers are gonna just accrue me back up to full, I think. But that was a good play. Strength Sap might have been better though. Could knock off too, actually, that's not terrible. Knock off the Dio leftovers and makes Flash Cannon more spammable. And I don't think you want to just lose this for no reason. Interesting choice. Maybe this is getting sacked. In that case, actually, I could go... No, going Curum is... Actually, no, it's -2. Flash Cannon probably does 1,000,000. Don't know what the spread on this is, unfortunately, but I think that is a perfectly fine option. Doesn't matter if you paint split or swap out. I guess going to 9 cells would be annoying, but I don't think you're going to do that now. Yeah. Okay, cool. Shadow Ball's actually also free. Well, I guess, am I scared of Dio coming in? I'm not. Not really. Mustard! Dio's definitely coming in right now, 1,000,000,000%. Question is, what do I do? I'm only doing like 30% to it. I don't think that's worth staying in and getting knocked or anything. So, or T-waved. So, probably just go back out into Billy or something. Billy's actually probably perfect because it covers the other two, and especially the Veil bot. Yeah, that's a Dio. Quillfish actually might be best, because Quillfish doesn't get opportunities versus anything else. But I don't want to give it the thing a free Veil, but I also don't want this to lose its leftovers, so... Gunk will still do solid versus the Veilmon, and I think I can still outlast everything else with Billy before, like, even with Veil up, I think I can outlast it. Okay, cool. I think Toxic is pretty free. I can taunt to stop the teleport, but that doesn't do much. Because you're just going to go hard Ninetales, and then I just don't get a poison off on this. Okay. Goes hard anyway, so taunt was probably the correct thing. Oh, goes into this. Interesting. This doesn't have Roost because it's a Scarf set, so... I still don't think I want to sack this, because it's still faster than Dio, probably. And I can sack it later, when I can... I don't need to sack this if I can always just go Billy. No need. I should swallow that. Okay, it hurts a little, but we're okay. I think we go right back to flash cannoning. I guess that's probably more effective than dragon tailing with no hazards. This might be getting sacked, actually. This bird. I'm a bird. Oh, that's not good. I think I beat this flash. I definitely beat it one-on-one. I just don't know how long it's gonna take. How much does a flash cannon actually do? Is this gonna... Oh, with the poison, it's actually definitely gonna kill. So, we're fine. Stomach one more. Don't get paralyzed. Cool. Bird is down. Last two, we got Ninetales and Dio. So Tusk is actually super useless. I just wish I got rocks up earlier. We always stay, yeah, we always just stay in and... This doesn't beat Dio after this. I'd rather just stay in and flash cannon. And then maybe like Shadow Ball cheese it or something. Oh. Oh. No, this still kills. Absolutely. Yum. Oh, wait, the poison got him? Actually, I think it lives. So Veil might go back up. We might have a longer game than I anticipated. Oh, nope. Poison got him. Poison got him. Excellent, excellent. Last one. How do I kill you, is the question. I think we start by knocking you off. Oh, it is stored power. Oh no. Okay. So let's not lose the cosmic power with... Well, actually... Doesn't Quillfish... Oh, well, Quillfish is about to die is the problem. Because of the freaking burn. We just gotta get into Shadow Ball range. Recover. So we go to Quill and taunt, I think. If stored power is the attack of choice, it shouldn't be able to touch me, so I should just be able to taunt Toxic and then go to Cure him and win. Should be a pretty sound plan. How much does Kyurem need on this to kill it? Shadow Ball, 53 to 63. So we need like a little more. Just a little more chippies. Maybe I should have Toxics, but that's honestly probably, yeah, that's it. That should be all we need. Now I think we kill even if it's calm. 48-58 actually. Yeah, no, it's dead. Alright, cool. That should be a wraps on week 1. Quillfish is gonna go down a burn. And then Cruel Winter should be able to wrap this up with a nice, sweetie Shadow Ball. Alrighty then. No Terra necessary. Excellent. So that's going to be a wraps on week 1. That's a nice 3-0 victory. Had to play a little stally as I usually do. But the Dragons came out swinging. And yeah, we're going to have a good start off to the season. Shout out to my opponent. It was a wonderful game. And we'll see you guys next time.